go. Now in the cage, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the featherweight division, presented to you by SparStar Promotions. This bout is sponsored in part by Yo Roy Tate. Once again, our referee in charge of this bout, Grady Thomas. And now, introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks trimmed in silver and gold. He is training out of Extreme Couture, Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Sun Valley. He weighed in 146 pounds. His record, 1 win with 2 losses, 1 win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jonah YKM Serrano. His opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing black trunks trimmed in orange. He is training out of Aguirre's Fighting System, Fontana, California. He weighed in 145 pounds. His record, 2 wins, no losses, with 1 win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Elijah Bratton. All right, fans, here we go. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the featherweight division.
This is a very unexpected and pleasant surprise. This was maybe like added on later or moved around, or because it's handwritten on our card. It's barely legible, so I didn't even know that he was.
Maybe they just made it in the parking lot.
Yeah, I think they're just, you know what? Just give him another fight. We want to see this guy fight again.
Some information over on Elijah. Elijah has won his last fight via submission, yet he's starting off with strikes, so it may give you a little bit of a preview of where he likes to go as a fighter. Meanwhile, Jonah, if you looked at his last fight, I don't know that you learn exactly where he likes to be, because he doesn't really care where he is. He just can make a fight happen and be exciting in any position, as he's already starting a scramble. But you got to respect the submission game here, because guess what? If you know that that is something that Elijah has won in his previous match, you want to be very, very cautious of it. Now you're seeing the hand on the grip, and it looked like for a split second, nope, he's going to continue using some magic here.
He pulled mount on the bottom.
You did pull mount.
In a very weird way. Yep.
Well, he's got to be very careful, because there could be a stoppage here. He's got to keep moving, but you'll notice that will expose the neck to somebody who has won previously by submission. So you have to watch out for a stoppage via strikes, and you have to watch out for your neck getting exposed.
The way that he turtles and covers the majority of his head, except for that back strip that you're not allowed to punch, is actually really smart for MMA. I mean, he might not even get out of here. I don't know. Like, this is a terrible position.
Yeah.
But he does such interesting stuff when lose or draw.
If there's anything that we're learning right now, it's that Bratton himself is kind of confused. Like, do I strike him, or do I try to go for this choke? I'm going to go back to striking now.
Yeah.
And then you're going to see him try to dig in for that arm, and it's confusing. It's slightly throwing him off, and yet it's almost, and he's out. There you go. And he's in a
scarf hold now, on top. Okay.
And Bratton doing an excellent job of reversing the position, and yet you're seeing
he's
Serrano.
in like a schoolyard headlock right now. and I think he hit him there.
He did.
Okay.
That's the end of round 1 there.
Yeah, standard Serrano match, the round to a match. That's okay.
Well, think about it like this. Traditional jiu-jitsu says if you do X, sometimes Y happens. In this one, you did X, and then you go, but why?
Yeah, what?
But what happened to why? Why that happened?
How did he end up in scarf hold and then a standing headlock? That's
It could also be, John, that when you do fight Serrano, you go into a visual vortex where you get lost in this Bermuda Triangle sort of thing, where you go, I should be doing this, but I'm not, and I'm confused as to how to really attack you, because there's no injury here, there's no damage that he's taken, and now he's going to come back, and I hope his team is trying to dial him in a little bit, and I hope that Bratton's team is trying to say, you need to pick one lane and try to narrow down the escapes as much as possible for him.
I don't. I mean, Elijah did everything right in that round. And he like he won the round.
I would say he
yeah.
surely did win the round,
Yep.
but I think getting put into that lull made him contemplate strikes, rear naked choke. Strikes, rear naked choke. And it's hard because sometimes you use the strikes to set up the choke. In this particular case, Jonah was shelling up so well that it gave him an escape route, which most people cannot say they do from that position. So now we start back on the feet. I mean, the other thing to consider is that Jonah himself is kind of just rubber. So he bounces around a lot off of the feet, and that's just when you're standing up. The next part is if he gets taken down. I think you just mentioned, that definitely affected him. And you're seeing Bratton maybe starting to pick up on it. But
steps in and connects with a nice left hook, though.
He does. And, I mean, if you're Elijah, I think you might want to target that leg again.
Oh.
Nice overhand. Bratton did not like that, and now is going to get into a war with Serrano again, which is, again, if you were a betting person and you were thinking odds-on favorite, this will be a nonsensical match. It is definitely giving you a return on your investment because it's fun, and he just clipped him. Bratton, and Bratton didn't go down. That was a very solid hit. But these are the types of moments that you look for in this kind of match. Nice clip here. This could be a problem for him, but yet Bratton hugs in to recover, gets taken down, but reverses the position yet again. Now you're seeing on top here, Serrano have a split second. Bratton making his way up. There is an armbar potential here.
He's going for it.
He's going for it, and the ref is on top of it. He's looking to try and bring this foot over. It's ridiculously in play, but I do think that Bratton could get out. He's just not out of the woods just yet, and now he turns the corner, and yet they're both kind of stuck in this position. That leg is just kind of trapped through so that the arm can't necessarily detach the two of them. And there we go. That's the first time. Now he's got the shit on neck. Serrano doesn't love that. Bridges out of it. The referee's looking, and I think he's trying to be on top of it, but I don't think that's going to be enough to stop any of it, and it's not. We go to round number 3.
How do you score that round, right? Like, I think Serrano won it, but look at the way it ended. It ended terrible. Like, what?
I'll tell you what.
It doesn't even matter who wins or loses when I watch his fights. I just want to watch him fight.
I'll tell you what Beto Arias told me that I was very entertained by it. I interviewed Beto after his fight with Serrano, and I said, you guys had one of the best fights we've ever got to commentate. It's so much fun. And he goes, you know what the best thing you said about us? And I go, what's that? He goes, that we would have continued fighting in the parking lot. He goes, because we would have. And I go, I felt very confident in that statement. As absurd as it is, you get the sense that is continuing here because you're looking at it and you go, I don't know that we're going to have a definitive answer as to who won this fight in the next 2.5 minutes. You're going to look at this next 2 minutes of action, and if you're Bratton, the best thing you can do is stay composed. This is an anomaly. This is a very difficult fight to have a game plan for, but the more you can try to stick to it and at least be consistent, the better I think you'll do. And if you're Serrano, just uncertainty and chaos is your friend.
It's just part of you. It's who you are. I love watching his fights. I thought maybe his next one would not be anywhere near as spectacular, but it's been so fun so far. So
it's been great.
I love it. Here we go. Round number 3, the final round. Oh, that step in left hook.
Serrano's finding his range here. I mean, this is looking good for him. He's stepping in, and I would like to remind Bratton, I think maybe you want to add in a few leg kicks here because...
good head kick.
Okay. But we're not out of the woods yet, John. This is Mount. This should be done. And yet, right now, Serrano's shelling up. This could be a stoppage. And yet, look, this is why I say you need to commit to one or the other. And at least here we are committed to trying to get the choke. And yet, we're going to go right back. We have to be careful on where we're hitting and where we're landing some of these punches. Now, if it can open up and expose the neck, you have a submission artist that can get this finish. And he's underneath.
Okay.
This could be a finish, John. 51 seconds. That is a lot of time. But is the chaos magic of Serrano going to be able to get out of this fully locked submission? I think Serrano's looking to tap, and he does get the win. We signaled it at the beginning. We said you have to respect the submission artists at what they are good at. And yes, that equation was difficult to solve for 2 rounds for Elijah Bratton.
Yes.
But you know what?
Good job
at
for
the
Elijah.
very end of it, he figured out a way, and it just was, as I mentioned, you got to pick one or the other. If you stay trying to punch this dude out, he will find a way to squirm out. If you go to your bag, which is submission grappling, you might get the win. And let's look at some of these replays right now, John.
That head kick. Oh, man.
Woo! Looking beautiful and bright right there. And now you see the end result of a rear naked choke that took, I argue, 2 rounds to set up.
Yes, yes it did. Nearly 3. Man, what but again, just a joy to be able to watch the fight, right? It's you can see there's Heather. She was beside herself like a nervous wreck watching the fight that she match made for, because you can look at her body language. It's she was nervous about the whole thing because it's just such a wild card when you have Serrano in there. But I have to say, Elijah really looked great and pulled it together, able to get that finish at the end. So congrats to him.
Let's be very clear, John. Serrano loses no stock from
not
the
at all.
commentary team here.
No.
If anything, his stock probably went up tonight because we saw that the first one wasn't a fluke. He could be just as entertaining. We go for official fight decision back to the
Ladies
cage.
and gentlemen,
Oh.
at 1 minute, 19 seconds of round number 3, referee in charge, Grady Thomas stops the contest due to a submission tap out from a rear naked choke. Our winner. In the red corner, he is still undefeated, Elijah Bratton.
Okay, a little bit of a commotion right next to the ring too, but everything looks